Welcome to Investing in Cryptocurrency, brought to you by CryptoVice.com.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Investing in Cryptocurrency on CryptoVice TV. You can follow us on Twitter at CryptoVice1, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and check our website out at CryptoVice.com. Today we're going to be talking about TRON coin, mainly because it is a coin that's come out of nowhere over the last several weeks. And today is January 10th, 2018. So 2018 is expected to be a big year for cryptocurrency, even bigger than 2017, and TRON coin stands to benefit from that. So for those of you who are not familiar with CryptoVice, we have three segments on our YouTube channel. One is Investing in Cryptocurrency, which is the video you are watching now. The other is Bitcoin Basics, and the third is Physical Bitcoin Revealed. We focus on the new folks who are in the cryptocurrency industry, and we try to provide insight and perspective that give you the tools to do further research and make sound decisions as you continue to navigate through your journey of cryptocurrency. And the way we do it is through things like the 3 Ps. Before we analyze any coin, we always like to talk about the 3 Ps of that coin and that investment. And the 3 Ps are people, who is behind the coin, not just from a leadership standpoint, but the community behind the coin and the support structure and the partnerships. The second is the product or the purpose of the coin. And the third is the promise or the plan for the upcoming months and years. So the 3 Ps of TRON, TRX, is as follows. The people. The CEO is Justin Sun, and he is a self-proclaimed protege of Jack Ma, who is the founder of Alibaba. And Justin is a very successful entrepreneur. He was the creator of Paywo app, and he has 2-time recognition on the Forbes 30 Under 30, which is very impressive. So he's a young entrepreneur, he's a successful businessman, and he's got a lot of impact on the market, especially in the Asian market. The biggest thing about TRON, and this actually needs to be updated because they've got 166,000 Twitter followers on the TRON Foundation. And interestingly enough, Justin Sun has nearly 300,000. So the followership on Twitter is really unprecedented. It's quite impressive. And that just proves that the community of TRON is massive. They also have some major business partners. They're a young business, but they've got a lot of great partnerships, one of which was announced earlier today, the Netflix of Asia. The other partnership they have is with Paywo. Paywo is an app in Asia with 10 million users, and TRON is going to be a major partner of Paywo. They've also got experienced developers, and they're open source through GitHub, just like just about any other cryptocurrency out there. So the people of TRON, the community behind them, the partnerships, and the leadership are really quite impressive. If you go to product and the purpose of TRON is decentralized entertainment protocol. It's fueled by TRONIX, which is the TRX token, and also TRON Power. TRON Power is basically locked up TRX tokens that allow you to have voting rights. And then really the purpose beyond entertainment protocol is data storage, content creation, and as well as content distribution. So there could be a major opportunity from a business standpoint and a marketability standpoint for the TRON token and the TRON business model. A lot of people liken it to Filecoin or Sia Coin from a data storage standpoint. And there's a lot of similarities with other business models as well, but TRON seems to have a backing that some of those others don't. And then, of course, the promise or the plan, if you will. TRON has a 6-stage plan from Exodus to Eternity that they are rolling out over the next 9 years or 10 years. Exodus is in process, and it's going to be really up until the end of 2018, and Eternity is scheduled for mid-2020s. So there is a very specific promise or a plan. The problem is if you look at their white paper, it's a very ambitious goal, an ambitious plan. But a plan nonetheless, and really well laid out. So here you can see the Tron.network is their website. It shows really all about what TRON is. So one of the things that I wanted to point out here, as you can see, it talks about what the TRONIX is and the difference between TRONIX and TRON Power, as well as the plan. So the 6-stage plan goes into, which is also in the white paper as well, goes into the detail of what each of the stages are going to entail. So after Exodus is Odyssey, then Great Voyage, then Apollo, Star Trek, and Eternity. You scroll down and you see Justin's son, graduate of the University of Pennsylvania, and all of his credentials. And then, of course, a little timeline and the team behind the business. So the website is pretty well laid out. It also gives you an opportunity to read the white paper. And if you can't find the white paper, you can also Google online as well. Let's take a quick look at their Twitter page. TRON Foundation, as I mentioned, is 166,000 followers. I said 155 on the PowerPoint, but that hasn't been updated. So 166,000 followers and growing. And then, of course, if you go to Justin's Twitter page, he's now at 294. So he continues to get followers on the minute-by-minute basis. And this followership really showcases the strength of the community behind the TRON business. So now that we've gone over the 3 Ps, you can see that TRON really checks the box on all 3 of the 3 Ps. I think there are 2 probably cons or yellow flags that you got to be aware of, and we'll talk about that right now with the pros or cons of TRON. The cons is that really it's still very early. TRON is an ambitious business model with a decent white paper, a very ambitious CEO, young but experienced, and yet there is a lot to be determined as far as the reality of the business. You can say all you want in a white paper or in a Twitter rant, but it's very telling as far as whether that expectation becomes reality. And as a result of it still being an early company and a young company, it's a very easy target for FUD. One of those big FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt articles that came out recently, which is actually one reason why the TRON coin decreased in value so dramatically over the last several days, is that the white paper was plagiarized. And an article was written, people believed it, sold off the coin, and credibility was lost. So again, easy target for FUD. But one thing that's very important to remember is that many of the white papers out there are similar to one another. Plagiarism runs rampant in cryptocurrency, and I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm also not saying that TRON did that, but it's not uncommon that you see very similar ideas in similar white papers. So the question really comes down to execution and whether TRON is going to execute on their plan. Again, and the last one is really, at this point, there's a lot of hype behind it. Mainly hype because outside of some of the partnerships that were announced and the community that stands behind TRON, there's a lot of hype. And you look at Justin Sun's Twitter, and you'll get that right away. And even reading through the white paper, there's a lot of lofty expectations that really need to be executed on in order for it to be a great business. And it very well could be a great business, but it's still to be determined. The pros are that it's still early. It's a young company, a young coin, young CEO, a lot of upside and very little downside. So if you get in early, if you choose to invest, if you continue to do your research and think it's a good business model, then there's a massive opportunity. Also, I mentioned Justin Sun. He's a very experienced and young entrepreneur and a very experienced CEO as a result. So it gives you a little bit of comfort knowing that this CEO, while he is ambitious, he has still got a lot of great experience behind him and under his belt that he can then take into the market. And he's also a very reputable and credible businessman in Asia, in the Asian market, as well as the U.S., with a degree from the University of Pennsylvania, might I add. The last thing, we talked about it already, but there's a lot of very strong partners and continued partnerships that are being formed. Most recently, in fact, earlier today, there was a partnership announcement of Baofeng, which is essentially the Netflix of Asia. And again, this is a major announcement because these big companies, especially in the Asian market, are trusting in the TRON infrastructure and the ecosystem that is being built behind the business. And establishing those partnerships build a ton of credibility for the business itself. So those partnerships are very impactful, very valuable, and very beneficial as we continue the journey of Tron through 2018 and beyond. Last thing I'll mention is that Yahoo put out an article recently. In fact, we tweeted about it, about the top 12 cryptocurrencies to watch in 2018, and Tron is actually number 8. So it's getting a lot of great publicity. It's getting a lot of attention, and what it does with that attention is to be determined. So let's look at the charts very quickly to end this segment of Tron. Hopefully that pros and cons analysis, as well as the 3 Ps overview, helps in your research, and you can take that and run with it as you continue to research. But when we look at the charts, this is where you want to kind of look in to see what makes sense from a trading standpoint, and when to possibly get in from an investment standpoint. So with that, let's go into the charts. And as you can see on coinmarketcap.com, Tron has had quite a nice spike and then is kind of coming back down to earth a little bit. But the markets that trade Tron are Binance, HitBTC, several markets really, Liqui, and they continue to grow. 34 today, and I'm assuming that's going to continue to grow into 2018. I learned about Tron through a airdrop on HitBTC, and I'll send you a link if you want to sign up to HitBTC if you haven't already. It's a pretty good exchange. Haven't had any problems with it. And the nice thing about HitBTC is that it adds tons of new coins every day, and smaller coins that some of the bigger exchanges don't always have. So let's look at the charts very quickly. Again, the best way to look at a good entry point is probably the hourly candlesticks. And very simply, again, not much data to look off of, so it's kind of a crapshoot. But if you look back in early January, there was a little bit of a consolidation period here before it really spiked at about 600 to 700. Then it spiked, and now it's kind of consolidating again right around the 1,000 mark and into the 750 to 800 mark. So I would say, if you really want to look at Tron and whether to invest, it might make sense to go anywhere between the 650 and 1,000 mark from a Satoshi standpoint. Again, it's really a long-term investment, in my opinion. The short-term gains are difficult to predict because there isn't much chart data to really look at from a technical analysis standpoint. You could argue that this is forming a pennant, and that pennant's going to end right around the 650 mark before it consolidates to make another move. But again, I think anywhere between 650 and 1,000 is a pretty decent entry point for Tron. But with that being said, the decision is yours. Don't take my word for it. Continue to do your research, and have a great day. Happy New Year, and come back and see us again. Again, like our video, share our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter at CryptoVice1. Take care.